Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from the Black Business School and the Black Wealth Boot Camp. We talk about investing all the time and the importance of investing, and one of the areas that you want to invest is real estate. Real estate is something that tends to go up in value on average, and it's also, and land is something that doesn't go away. So to talk about much of this, I wanted to bring in Mr. Andre C. Hatchett, the founder of the Black Real Estate School. How you doing today, Andre?
I'm doing great, Doc. A co-founder.
Co-founder. There you go. Co-founder. Okay. Yeah, I'm connected too. But I give credit where it's due. I know you're doing a lot of
Such a humble guy. Such a humble guy.
There's not much to brag about, man. It's just we're all just playing our part here. Now you had come to me with the idea of doing the Black Real Estate School, and I agreed with you. I felt like real estate is just something that people don't understand, but yet it's something that everybody should get into. Now, you actually got into real estate pretty early in your life. What's piqued your interest, and how did you get involved?
Piqued my interest was my dad having talked to me when I was young, probably like late teens age. He said, "Look, if you live in an apartment for 30 years, you'll make your landlord rich. If you live in a house for 30 years or your own apartment, at 30 years, you will have no more payments to make on the mortgage ever." All right. Ever in life. So the simple fact that you'll have the ability to not make any more payments after a certain time period or down amount is paid off, that triggered it off. When I studied equity, how equity works, how property can rise in value while you're still living there. And if you're renting an apartment, value can still go up. But you have no benefits of the reward. So once I did the math and saw it, and the personal pride, ever talked to someone who owns their own home, owns their own building, like they feel good about themselves. Yeah, like that's my building, that's my house. Doing all these things and all this research and just seeing the pride on people's faces when they have their own piece of property, own piece of land, I said, yeah, this is for me. This is for me. Sign me up. So here we are. 11, 12 years later, still in the game.
Oh, okay. Wow. So you, when you say sign me up, now what did you do to sign yourself up? How did you get started in real estate? I mean, what did you do to get involved?
I stayed home a lot of nights. The first thing I did, because I born a person when I was only 22 years old, only making $15 an hour. So you can't ball out and buy your first home if you're only making $15 an hour. So what I did was I stayed home and I read a lot of books. I read a lot of books to help me stay on track. And when I realized that it's easier to discipline yourself when you're actively working on your goal. So once I saw the prize, once I researched the prize, once I read all these books and saw, wow, like I'm going to be in this game, it helped me just basically stay home with books and read and study. And I was okay with that at 19, 20, 21 years old because I knew the long-term goals and the long-term effects that me owning this property can have on me. So, yeah, I stayed home, did research, kept the perfect FICO score, I think 720, 740 range, and I saved about 70% of everything I made for 2 years, or maybe even more. Yeah, 70% for 2 years.
Oh, wow. So you saved so at the age of 19, 20, you were saving 70% of your income, and you were making $15 an hour, and you bought your first property. A lot of people would think that that's impossible. A lot of people say, I'm only making $15 an hour. I can never own property. It's not possible. But you did it. You pulled it off. Okay. Yeah. So now when you bought the property, how much did it cost you? Or what was the total value of the property?
The total value of the property, it was $55,000. So it was $55,000. It's a co-op in Yonkers. A co-op similar to condominiums if you're out of state. So I had to put down $5,500, 10% for the down payment, and pay like a few grand in closing costs. And the cool thing with the property, which actually I taught a class in the Black Real Estate School the other day, and we touched on this, and I showed people that if I were to rent out my property a year after me living there, I could make $300 to $400. I could have made $300 to $400 in passive income from rent on the property. So my payments for the mortgage and maintenance are about $600 a month, and I could have rented it out now for probably like $1,100, then for about $900 a month. So that's positive cash flow. Positive cash flow. Lord of the land. So, and I bought the property with that in mind, Doc. I was like, how can I turn this into an asset? How can this property be an asset? Because every home is an asset sometimes, but not all the time. How could this be a win-win? I said, well, when I move out, I can rent it out and have steady money coming and help pay off the mortgage even sooner. So that was one of the reasons why I got that property as well.
So a lot of the game is, you might buy the property, and then you take on the mortgage, but then you let the the renters of the property, they're paying the mortgage for you pretty much. Right.
That's what savvy investors do. Yeah. Savvy investors, especially for your first home, I would advise to have a strategy that I had was go in here, buy it, and make sure that if you rent it out or when you rent it out, that you can make positive cash flow on the property while you're gaining equity, while you have the tax write-offs. And I had another colleague in the class the other day, and he did the same thing that I did. He bought his house first time at 22, making only $40K a year. He was fresh out of HBCU. Townhouse, and he has been renting out he lived in the house for a year. He's renting it out for the past 9 or 10 years out there in Charlotte. So this thing is, it's obtainable, it's doable, but you have to study from people who have done it. You have to study from people who have done it, and that's how we built our school.
Oh, wow. Wow. So, I think that's the thing. It seems like that's the hurdle for a lot of people in real estate is that a lot of people don't get involved because they just feel so intimidated by it. They just don't know where to get started, don't think they have enough money. But here you did it at the age of 22, and you were only making $15 an hour, and now you're teaching people how to do something similar to what you did. Now, you actually believe that a commitment to real estate investing is a good way for us to kind of deal with the gentrification problem in Black communities?
Hell yeah. I agree with that. There's something called eminent domain, which we're going to talk about in school as well. So eminent domain is when the government comes in and they buy your house from you. That's kind of hard to stop. But in most cases, to stop gentrification, you just have to own the property and don't sell it. You have to own the property and don't sell it. But the key is to get to the property that is currently being gentrified before they get there, before the white people and the outsiders get there. And so what you have to do is hop on the next thing coming. You can't get mad about it after the fact. You have to hop on the next thing coming and know where the emerging markets are. Where are the quote-unquote hoods? That's where you buy. You don't get it when they come in and put the wine shops there and the little restaurants and little pizza joints. Like, then it's too late for a lot of us. But what you do is you get there before they get there. And oftentimes in our community, Doc, we are reactive and we're not proactive. In our class, we teach you how to be proactive investors. Get there before they get there. Buy it, hold it. Even if it's a boarded up dump, those go up in value too. There are people in Harlem who got shells. Shells are like beat up brownstones with like nothing in them. 5 years ago for maybe $700,000-$800,000, did nothing to them, held on to them, and sold them in the past 2 years for $1.2, $1.4, $1.5 million. They did nothing to the properties. Yeah, all they did was buy it and hold it because they knew what was coming.
Wow.
So that's talked about in school, how to get on the next thing coming before it's there, and you create it, you grow it, and you reap the rewards from it.
Interesting. So, now in the Black Real Estate School, what kinds of information can students learn in terms of how to get started in real estate? I mean, if I'm a beginner and I know nothing about this field, and I say, hey, I want to buy my first property, what are some of the things that you teach in the Black Real Estate School?
We show you how to buy your first property. That's the first thing. How to buy your first property. What makes for a good property? Because some people move every year. Okay, well, certain properties aren't going to be good for you if you're going to be moving every year. So we go over your criteria. What works best for you? We narrow it down because we have different experts come in who've done different things. So we figure out what works for you, give you different examples for you to choose, and we help you out with that to choose which property or which kind of property is right for you. Why to buy a 2 through 4 unit property, a multifamily property? What are the pros and the cons to that? Some people think they want tenants, but after they hear stories, they might not want tenants. Some people might say, you know what, I was thinking about a 1 unit, but now I do want to get like a 3 unit with my family. How do I go about that? We show them that. We show them how to use the Airbnb model for a source of rental income, a huge source of rental income. We show you how to be a top real estate agent. The Airbnb thing is huge. The Airbnb thing is huge. Short-term rentals can cut out a lot of headaches as well, but certain properties aren't the best for that. So we show you how to pick the right property for that. How to be a top real estate agent. I'm a top real estate agent in New York City. Well, now I got relocated, but so me and a lot of my colleagues will show you how to be a top agent in New York. So if you do it in New York, you can do it anywhere because that's the hardest. The market is tough as hell. We go through the whole gamut, Doc. Tax liens, investing 101, everything, man.
Interesting. Wow. And this is all in one class?
No, we have different classes, and we're going to release them as the months go on. Our class running right now is the Real Estate Investing 101 course. Okay. And next month we have a few more courses dropping. And we have a discount, 30% if you sign before the end of the month. You can't beat that.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Oh, wow. That is a good discount. I think that real estate investing is so important for what what our community really needs to look into, because if you look at land, I talk a lot about stocks, and actually there was actually a study that recently showed that stock investors, that African Americans are actually switching over from real estate to stocks because home values haven't gone up as much as they have, and stocks have really shot up. But what I tell people is that the long-term play is always real estate, because especially if you talk about actually buying, a plot of land and things like that, there's a limited supply of land. So land will always go up in value eventually. If you wait long enough, you can pass it from generation to generation. If you buy stock in the company, the company may or may not last, but land is not going to go anywhere. So I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome.
It's true. And we still have a class coming up that says, it goes over, should I invest in real estate or business? Some people might have gone through the boot camp. They might have said, you know what, I want a business, or they might hear about real estate. Well, you know what, I want to get in real estate. I don't know which one to do. So we go over the pros and the cons to both. And maybe they should do one now and one later, or maybe they could do both at the same time. So hearing stories of people who have done it, it's the way to go, guys. It is the way to go. It could save you tens of thousands of dollars in years, because I've also made a bunch of mistakes. So you're going to get all of that. And my crew has too. So you're going to get the good, the bad, and the ugly, which any instructor or advisor, they should be giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Not just the good, because that's just fake. That's just not real. Come on. We give you everything. We're giving you everything. And what we also touch on, Doc, is the personal pride. The personal pride you get from having your own home. I think everyone who doesn't own their own home needs to have a reason why. If they don't want to, they don't want to. If they might be moving often, okay, cool. But you should have a reason why, because the personal pride and fulfillment you get from having your own home, especially as a brother, especially in a country where they're trying to rip your nuts off of your damn body, sometimes part of my language, and your soul out of your chest. That's something that's yours at the end of the day, and that you can tell a queen that you have have some land, you got some stake in the game here. It's good for the soul, man. It's good for the soul.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a lot of pride in ownership, and it's really something. It's just it's secure. It's confidence building. It's just a great way to kind of feel that you're not a victim. One of the things I try my best to help people remember is that you won't put on this earth to just be a victim and to always feel that somehow you're being screwed and exploited and misused and abused. And, it's like, it might be true, but there's a point where you can't fight back. So I like this. I like what you're saying. You're laying the information out, straightforward where people can pick it up. And what's the URL?
TheBlackRealEstateSchool.com. TheBlackRealEstateSchool.com.
All right. So TheBlackRealEstateSchool.com. Mr. Andre C. Hatchett, you're teaching the class is called. You said it's called Real Estate 101 or Real Estate Investing.
Real Estate Investing 101 is our first course. It's tight, man. I'm telling you, I'm pumped up. This is good stuff. I'm really proud of what we put together.
All right. Well, I'm definitely proud of it too, and I look forward to hearing more as things go on. And I know you got a lot of great people that have a lot of experience that you're bringing through, and that's one of the reasons why I was happy to invest in the project, because, I'm a big believer that the best way to learn is to learn from people who know how to do something, and that's the funny thing. I mean, and a lot of university campuses, you can take classes from people that only learned how to do things from a book. And I know this because actually, for the first maybe 15 years, or I'd say 12 years, first 12 years I taught finance, I'd never run a business. I'd never worked for a corporation for any significant amount of time, other than maybe Taco Bell or something. And I was teaching based on what I knew in the book, and I felt like that was fraudulent. I didn't like that. I felt like I said, gosh, I can't. They're asking me real world questions, and I can't really answer real world questions.
Wow.
It wasn't until about maybe 04, 05 when I became an entrepreneur that I became a better teacher, because I spent over a decade learning how to run a business. So ultimately, learning from people who've done it, I think you can't replace that. Yeah. So it's pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. The nuggets you get from that are just unobtainable. Like those nuggets, those gems you get from doing your own thing, from learning from somebody who's done their own thing, good and bad. It will save you years. It will save you literally years of your life.
Yes, it will. And it's so important in real estate, because everybody thinks real estate's a great way to make money. And what people don't understand is that real estate's also a great way to lose a lot of money really fast. If you don't know what or to get trapped, to just be trapped in a situation where, you don't know how to get out of it. And, because I've had students that have asked me, well, I have this property and I want to get rid of it, but I don't know what to do. And, and it's tough. So you learn from the experts before you jump in, but don't be afraid. All right, man. Well, thank you very much, brother. It was wonderful getting a chance to speak to you.
Always a pleasure, partner. I'll see you on the side.
Absolutely. All right. The pleasure's all mine. All right, everybody. This is Mr. Andre C. Hatchett at theBlackRealEstateSchool.com. Make sure you go take a look. They have a 30% off special on Real Estate Investing 101. I highly recommend it. I think it'll be something that will clearly enhance your life. So take care until we meet again. Please stay strong, be blessed, and be educated. We are gone. Peace.